guys, welcome back to the channel. Episode 10. Can't believe we've already done 10 episodes of the Super Build series. Today we got Sam's sweet ass daily driver, MK5 Supra. This one, you guys probably can see with the B-roll, it's definitely not stock. So there's gonna be a lot on here. If I miss some details, look for the annotations on the screen. But Sam, I wanna thank you for letting me review your car. This has been a car that I've been wanting to review for a while, because you guys already know with my car, it's also daily driven, a ton of miles. And Sam, he puts a lot of miles on this car too. So I'll give you guys a walkthrough of this car, kind of what Sam's logic has been going this route for this type of build, because I mean, it takes determination to be able to really put a build like this and still be able to drive it regardless of the weather. So we'll go over the aesthetic mods first. You guys will have the bookmarks on your screen. And then of course, we'll go over the performance mods and then the reasoning for going this route. So I know a lot of you guys, I've already heard the noise about BMWs, you know, being complicated, expensive, whatever it is, but time and time again, with all the builds that I featured on my channel, hey, if you guys do it right, get the right tuner to do it, your car will last. And there's plenty of cars out there that's not even been featured on this channel where that's definitely true. So super excited for you guys to see what this car is all about. So let's go ahead and get started and let's go over the mods and see what's done of this thing. So let's do that. All right, so now I'm behind the camera. Let's go over the aesthetic mods. You guys can definitely build a car like this on a budget, and that's exactly what Sam has done. Still very clean, still very tasteful. So we'll go ahead and start from the front. Up front, we have the overpriced America Panda badges. He's actually gonna be switching over to one and only 86's badges. So if you guys are interested in a color matched Toyota badge, front and rear, definitely check him out. This is an eBay special front lip. It is full carbon. The interesting about this one is it's actually 3 pieces. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but right here is a separation for the side piece. And then you have the middle piece. What's cool about these is there's actually a duct right here for the air to go through. Same thing on this side, and then here's the separation for the side piece on this side. So very nice ground effects on it. The cool thing about this is if you guys are worried about scraping it, and with a low car with a lip like this, of course you're going to be scraping it, but this is not completely flat, this lip. So it actually curves up a little bit. So if anything, if you're going to be scraping it, it's just really going to be the front part, but it's hardly even noticeable on Sam's car. So of course you guys have the Weld S77 non-beadlocks front and rear. If you guys are wondering about the sizing for the wheels, this is 17x9 in the front, 17x10.5 in the rears. Tires are 255 45 17s, G2s up in the front, Nitto NT 555 R2s in the rear. These are actually the same tires that I'm running on my car. So for you guys who are wondering if these tires can be dailied, they definitely can. Nice thing about them is, and this is what Sam actually likes about them compared to the Mickey Thompsons he was running before, is like you can actually run these when it's wet outside because they actually have some pretty good tread on them. Rounding out the back, we have the paint match badges. Really nice. Highly recommend them if you guys are gonna have a Supra and you just want the color to match throughout the car. eBay special Street Hunter style wing. And if you guys haven't heard, the reps actually have better fitment than the actual Street Hunter wing, which is kind of sad. But he had the sides paint matched. Actually really nice fitment. You can see how the lines kind of follow the trunk, and then there's no weird gaps from the sides onto the blade itself, and he kept the blade exposed carbon, which is really nice. On the back here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but he has an OLM fourth brake light, F1 style. So this is the style where it's still going to be your reverse light, but whenever you brake, of course, along with your tail lights, it's going to turn red and flash. Here you have the SP1R, represented by my Kababayan's SP1R. Really high quality work, sounds awesome. And then we'll do a comparison of the SP1R and the RK. So if you guys are curious about it, because I know you guys always be asking me what the difference is between them. Well, you guys can hear for yourself here in a little bit. We also have the billet fuel cap that is in red. This is actually just sits on top of the stock fuel cap, but it's a really nice contrast from the rest of the car. And if you guys were wondering what color this is turbulence gray. And then going back up towards the front, I forgot to mention it on the other side. This is the Rec Speed. It's a Rep fenders that's also paint matched. I was thinking about actually going this route for my fenders as well. I was a little worried about the rock chips, but actually after seeing Sam's car, only the rock chips really, it just occurs on the sides there. What I would probably do is just have it be PPF'd, but I mean, this is Sam's daily driver. I don't see like any crazy rock chips, so it's actually not bad at all. And then you have the wind deflector from eBay. This is full carbon. And then you have the mirror caps, also from eBay, because it is an eBay special, but still very, very clean. Honestly, if you guys look at this car, you wouldn't even notice that it is majority of the aesthetic parts was supplied from eBay. The fitment is actually pretty nice on them. So if you guys are trying to save some money for other parts of your build, you definitely can. Oh, and then also forgot the side skirts. It is full carbon. And then the rear spats that you can see here. And those are Rec Speed V2s. So that rounds out the entirety of the aesthetic mods on Sam's car. Here's a good side profile of it if you guys are curious. But it's yeah, it's really nice and pretty uniform, looks mean as hell. So if you guys see this car on the streets, pick your poison, because this car is pretty serious. So let's go ahead and go over the performance mod, since this is the part that you guys are probably wanting to see. You guys can see why this car definitely is on a drag pack. So let's do that now. All right, guys, so now we're under the hood where things get spicy. So you guys can see with this fat ass turbo, this is a top mount 6870. So this is kind of like a couple of parts away from my build, but if you guys, I know there's been a couple of people been hitting me up in regards to like whether they should do the manifold, whether they should get their trans built. So like what I said in the previous section, this car is a stock transmission car, stock manifold car. So for fueling, this car actually has EOS port injection kit with 1050cc injectors. This is on the Reflex Flex Fuel kit, tuned by body. This does make 850 wheel on the kill map, but because the transmission is still stock, it's around like 600 to 620 wheel torque. So it's still safe for the transmission and you can still definitely enjoy it. It's got an FTP charge pipe with a custom bottom half that goes into the turbo. It's got twin Turbo Smart wastegates. It has a 3-inch downpipe all the way back to the SP1R, which sounds really, really nice. And in terms of just top mount setup, pretty simple. Of course, it's got the ETS catch can, as you guys can see with the B-roll. And for me, like you guys might be wondering, here towards the front, it's still got the secondary water pump. So for me, I have mine deleted, but for Sam, he kept it on. If you guys are going to go this route, it is completely optional, but if you guys are going to delete it, just make sure to let your tuner know so they can tune out the codes, just because you add or remove something and the car starts freaking out. With the stock manifold, he still has the evap system. So for mine, I do have an aftermarket manifold and then I have mine deleted. So if you guys are going to be deleting the evap system that you can see right here, make sure to also tell your tuner to code out the codes. Check engine light. How many miles does this daily driver have? This car has almost 51,000 miles. So for reference, mine is over 58,000 miles. And I mean, Sam drives this every day, regardless of the weather. He beats on it and it whoops ass. I mean, I asked him off camera before I started rolling if he has anyone that tries to roll up on him on the highway whenever he's just driving. And I mean, he tells me no, because you see the drag pack and you're like, oh man, maybe there's something going on with this car. But yeah, this setup is reliable. It is proven, as you guys can see with this car. He's just had a couple of hiccups here and there, but as you guys know with my previous videos, is the more complicated or the more stuff that you add to your build, of course you have to account for certain things going wrong, and this example is not free from that. But it's not as like, if something happens, it's not as punishing as other platforms. So just make sure that you guys, ask around, do your research, and you can definitely have a build like this. So let's go over the rest of the car. I want to show you guys that this car does have 51,000 miles. So let's go ahead and show you guys what the dash says. All right, so now we are in the cabin. Let me switch this back. You guys can see that it has 50,695 miles. So this is a certified daily driven car. So yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and turn this off. This car is 100% daily driven. And we'll go ahead and give you guys a close-up of the engine bay. Of course, at this power level, everyone's wondering if you need to upgrade the manifold. I answered a couple of comments, and I mean, a couple of questions in the comment section asking whether a manifold is needed. I would say if your car is daily driven and you guys aren't, racing it every single weekend, then you can get by with it. I mean, we have a couple of friends, shout out to Scott and Dory. They also have a top mount car on stock manifold. Because I mean, the manifold is really just there for managing temperatures. And of course, if you're gonna be going down the drag strip, beating on the car, and then generating a lot of heat in the motor, then obviously you want your temperatures to be as low as possible. But I mean, if you're just gonna be cruising on the highway, having some fun with it, I wouldn't even say that it's 100% necessary. And then you guys also might be wondering, like, whether a catch can is necessary for a top mount. It is, I would definitely say so, because some people, they do run just like the little filter on the oil cap, so they will basically replace that, or put a little filter over here. I mean, you definitely can do that, but it just leaves more residue on like the hood and stuff. So there's plenty of options for catch cans, and this is the ETS one if you guys were wondering what it is. But overall, Fitment is really nice with 50,000 miles, and this is still stock motor if you guys are wondering. It runs awesome. So let's go over the kind of reasoning for going this route, and talk about what type of person who would go with a build like this. All right, so for the last section, you guys might be wondering, what type of person would go with this build. So according to Sam, if you want something that is high horsepower, definitely reliable, as you guys have seen with the various builds that's been featured on the channel, this is definitely like a good route to do. So this motor is definitely proven. Even with a stock transmission, it still holds up fine. Make sure that you guys, just so you can compare and contrast, see what you guys want to do with your car. But yeah, I mean, do your research. There's plenty of info out there already. Make sure you, of course, choose the right tuner, because there's a lot of tuners out there, and of course this is true with every single platform. Find a tuner who knows the platform, gives you a tune that is definitely gonna let you still have some fun, and it's not gonna, you know, blow your car up. With this type of build, I mean, you guys can see it is still like a budget high horsepower build that is reliable. But yeah, I just want to give a huge thanks again to Sam for letting me review your car. Ever since I first saw this car, I was like, damn, dude, this thing is sick. And hopefully you guys do appreciate it. Give him a follow on Instagram. It's at GGSam to see, you know, what he does with this car. And of course, he's gonna be driving it. And of course, shout out to Mikey Body for tuning this awesome car and then having it whoop ass on the road. So like and subscribe, guys. Check out the other cars that I've featured on my channel. It'll definitely be worth your time. So I'll see you guys on the next video.